What up, people? It's your boy Art of Lunatic over here. We back finally with a new episode. I got a brand new co-host over here, my boy JoJo. We got some young blood up here. You know what I'm talking about?
People, what's going on, bro?
And I'm gonna call this gonna be the geek episode because we about to geek out on all kind of geek related media. You know what I'm talking about? All that nerdy shit. If you don't want that nerdy shit, get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? But now we here and we about to get into it, people, man. So how you doing, JoJo, man?
I'm doing good, bro. I woke up today and we were gonna be recording the geek episode, bro, and start geeking over stuff, bro, and let's make it happen, bro.
Exactly, man.
Let's get into it, bro.
Let's get into this shit right now.
I'm ready, bro.
So first of all, man, I know you're a Star Wars geek, man.
Bro,
tell me, people.
So I've been a Star Wars geek for maybe like the longest, bro, and I feel like now that, you know, they're rearranging some people, bro, in the studio, and then now they're coming back with some Darth Maul, bro, Shadow Lord, and then now we're talking about getting into Clone Wars, bro. You know, I'm really excited, bro. Clone Wars era, bro.
Yeah. So a lot of people slept on Clone Wars, man. Some of the older Star Wars fans, man, they're like, oh, that's for kids, man. I don't watch that shit. But nah, fuck that, because we got Ahsoka out of that. They brought back Darth Maul, who in the movies he got killed supposedly, you know, by Obi-Wan.
I didn't like that, bro.
I didn't like that. You never liked that either, even though
I didn't like that, bro.
I'm not even a big fan of the Phantom Menace, but I always liked Darth Maul as a villain because I think his design was dope. You know? I
feel like the way that they kind of like portrayed him in the Phantom Menace, I feel like he was like the only character that kind of stood out to me in that movie, because I feel like I had heard that for like a thousand years that Maul, when he showed up, that was the first time the Jedis ever saw a Sith Lord before. And Darth Maul was the first time to ever see a Sith Lord, bro. So
what, they had been defeated for 1,000 years or some shit.
They had that 1,000-year war between the Jedi and the Sith, bro.
They hadn't seen a Sith in forever.
Yeah, bro. So when Darth Maul showed up, bro, he brought business, bro.
Although according to the Acolyte, 100 years.
We're not gonna consider that show canon, bro. I don't know if I want to consider that show canon, bro. That one just
fuck that.
We gotta be honest though. I think the one thing that I really loved about the Acolyte was that fight scene in the forest.
Oh no, it had some good lightsaber fights. I give the show that, even though I hated it. And
I didn't like the
it. It was the budget on it looked low. It looked low budget, even though it
looked like YouTube made it.
Yeah,
you know, like it looked very like, you know, low budget.
Bad acting, bad kid actors. Like I forgot it was that third episode with that little girl.
It was that girl that played X-23 from Deadpool and Wolverine.
Was it?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
She was the one that played it, like one of the Jedis.
I don't know, but she I'm referring to, remember, had the two twins or whatever. Remember how she was?
Oh, they were kind of referencing the twin brothers in the movie, right? Because that takes place in the episode. Oh my god, bro!
I sat through that episode. And I made myself sit through it. Like this is horrible. I can't even
like how can people approve a script like that, bro?
The acting was so bad too, bro. I was like, man, what is this?
Star Wars is allergic to money, bro.
And but nah, we did not like that show. That's why I didn't really talk about that show at all, man. I'm more of an Andor guy. But back to Darth Maul and everything, man. So you know, he finally got his own show, people. He's back.
Aura,
killing it. Just killing Aura, bro. Farming like a motherfucker, bro.
Oh god,
like. Hold on, man. I'm gonna have to play the clip. We'll play a clip of this shit real quick. He's bringing back the saber and everything. Like,
I feel like that scene that we're watching right now, I feel like it's reminding me of season 8 when he's fighting all the clone troopers on the ship.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Oh my god, bro! And I love it when they show his clothes, bro.
I love that season, the last season of Clone Wars.
Dude, I feel like that one was.
Remember when Ahsoka let him out and he started just going on? It just shows you how powerful
it was, bro. Because Ahsoka and then Rex had to deal with not only the clone troopers, bro. They had to deal with the guy that literally caused them a whole lot of trouble in the entire show of Clone Wars, bro.
It was epic, man. I just love seeing Darth Maul in his showing his full force powers and all that shit.
So I was gonna ask, like, what place does like Maul take place in? Because I know it was gonna take place after Clone Wars, no?
Yeah, he's showing how he's getting into the crime syndicate of the Empire
with Crimson Dawn, right?
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Because he started syndicate.
For people who don't know, Crimson Dawn was the company, I guess, the criminal syndicate that Darth Maul started, but. In the movie in Solo, which a lot of people didn't watch.
Low-key, I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, I did like it. But at the very end of it, there's a cameo by Darth Maul actually in the movie, for those who haven't seen it.
Yeah, bro.
And
spoiler alert.
Spoiler. And it basically shows that the girl was working for him.
Yeah.
So Han Solo's
Han Solo's, yeah, a little
crush,
like
whatever.
fling and shit. Yeah.
Flame. Which that I like that actress, but I think she was miscasting her because she doesn't come off as a criminal to me, you know.
Yeah, she
Like,
kind of reminds me of like a good guy.
yeah,
You know, instead of
like
like a bad guy, you know,
she
like
does not look like she's been living in them streets.
yeah,
So,
bro, like
but that's crazy, bro. Like somebody said that was a move from Force Unleashed, you know,
with Star Killer. Yeah, I was saying,
yeah, he did that.
Yeah,
I played a little bit of that game. I played the demo, then I played a little bit of the first levels on that.
if they made Star Killer canon to the movies, yeah, bro, I don't think we're gonna have an original trilogy,
he's
bro.
No, bro. He's too OP, man. Star Killer's the most OP character.
Bro, he takes down the whole Star Destroyer by himself.
Exactly, bro.
I'm like, yeah, bro. I was like, I don't know if I want to go against that guy if I was a Jedi, bro.
The games were fire.
Oh man, bro,
that was a crazy time.
You know, bro, like the one thing that I think the one thing that I really love about Maul is that I had seen on a video where I'm probably gonna get his last name wrong, but Sam
Whitaker or something.
Yeah, something like that, right? He was asked a question of like, oh, how would you describe Maul? And like the way that he was describing him is that Maul thinks that like the way that he's running the universe and like the way that he uses the Force, he thinks it's like, you know, beneficial for him. Right. Like he thinks everything that he's doing is good in his eyes. In his eyes, yeah. You know, but obviously the audience and like, you know, the fans, obviously they love Maul. Like we know like he's most likely an anti-hero.
Right.
You know,
that's what I was about to say.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like he works with the good guys, but only for his benefit.
Right.
Because, you know, we saw most of him in Rebels. And Loki, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really like the show as much. But I feel like when Maul was there and he was fighting the Inquisitors, I was like, okay.
Yeah, I watched those.
You know what I'm saying?
The Kenobi thing was cool too. The way Kenobi eventually ended up killing him. You know,
I just didn't like that little. He just died off one slash.
Yeah, but I think that was meant to show how OG Ben Kenobi has been gotten to. He studied that shit. He's so focused that boom, one slash.
Yeah, you know, but like. I think the way that I probably would want to see from that scene was that honestly, like I think the way they were talking and then Maul had found out that Luke was the one that was being protected by Ben. Like I think that was something they should have like talked about a little bit more.
You're protecting someone.
Or even when Maul showed up and he was like, "Oh, look, a rat in the desert.
Look what you become."
And then Ben is like, "Well, look what I brought up above, bro." And I was like, "Damn."
He came back with it, man.
Yeah, bro.
Shout outs to Kenobi.
Shout out Maul, bro.
Yeah, Maul.
Shadow Lord, bro.
I'm super excited. I think it's this month that it airs, right? Like,
I think so, right?
In April.
Yeah,
so I'm definitely be watching that. And speaking of shows that are streaming, that are coming out, man, I know you're not a huge fan, or I wouldn't say a huge fan, but I would say you're not as familiar with the Daredevil.
Oh, well, I know a little bit, but I feel like most of the time when it came to like Daredevil, shout out New Rockstars, I usually find most of my breakdowns, bro, from them. And so I feel like I kind of saw a little bit of clips, but I feel like the one that kind of stood out in the Daredevil series was the Punisher.
Oh yeah. A lot of people
love the Punisher, bro.
And I think that's probably one of the best casts.
I remember that clip where they were, where I think Daredevil had tied up Punisher, and Punisher was like, "Oh, like you think you're some hero, huh?" He was like, "Well, you punch them and they get back up," but he's like, "I punched them, they stay down, bro." So I was like, "Fuck." I'm like, bro, the writing of the show was so crazy.
Even though I will say, like, season 2 is a mixed bag for me. I love the Punisher shit. I love that part. I love a lot of the first half. But once they introduced the Hand, which is like that ninja group, that second half of
they're showing up in Spider-Man.
Yeah, I know.
They're showing up in Spider-Man, bro.
We won't talk about that, but we won't talk about it.
Let's not get carried away here, bro.
Let's not get carried away, man. But we are going to discuss that, man. Yeah. But yeah, the Hand was in season 2 of the Daredevil. Season 2. So basically, Daredevil's he's kind of a simple character, bro. It's like, so you know his origin, right? He's kind of like Ninja Turtles, because Ninja Turtles is actually a parody of Daredevil.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, because their enemy is the foot, right? Ninja.
The foot fight. The hand. Okay. Now I see.
And their origin is also tied to some chemicals turned mutating. That's what happened.
Turtles.
With Daredevil, an accident happened. And
it was acid fell on his eye.
Right.
As a kid, okay.
And it gave him, special powers or whatever. And that's what the Turtles are a parody of in a lot of ways, man.
I didn't know that. That was actually a fun fact. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I didn't know that a long time ago either, but I learned it a few years ago. I was like, okay, that makes sense then.
Well, I was about to ask you a question. So how do you feel about seeing Daredevil and She-Hulk? Like, did you like? I think I liked his yellow suit, but I kind of didn't like how they made him kind of like, like the jokey type.
Yeah,
like,
I didn't like that.
Because Daredevil's serious. Yeah, he can joke around, but it's like, like I feel like they kind of overdid it. And shit.
They kind of teased it like we knew it was going to happen, right?
Yeah.
And so the audience was expecting it. And then I did like some of the kind of fights, even though it was a little bit CG, but you could see he's fighting She-Hulk. So of course you're going to have to do some CG shit. But like I said, yeah, it was a little jokey. The whole show was jokey. And I understand that character, She-Hulk, is like that, you know what I'm saying? And so I understand it's going to be the comedy, but I don't think the comedy worked. Right?
It didn't work with something as serious as Daredevil.
It was trying to be like something else, man.
Yeah, bro.
I just want to film. The show felt like it didn't know what it was trying to be and then the end it got really convoluted too with that whole robot Kevin thing.
Yeah,
trying to be like thing.
Yeah,
it just didn't work for me, man. I'm sorry for the She-Hulk fan.
And that was supposed to be an Easter egg for Kevin Feige.
Right.
That robot.
Yeah, I see what they were trying to do, but it was just a sloppy thing. And then they introduced the Hulk son out of nowhere.
I forgot his name. It was like Daxar or something. It was Hulk's son. Yeah. He looked way different.
I didn't even know he had a son. That was new to me.
I guess he coming back to his son, I guess that had showed up in when Hulk was on what was that planet? It was like Planet...
kind of like the Planet Hulk.
Yeah, it was like Planet Hulk type
but except in the movies, they did it in a different...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And the Ragnarok...
Yeah, I don't really know too much about... I mean, I love Hulk, but man, when it comes sometimes to the stories, they can get a little...
deep cuts of the Hulk, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. Fuck.
I'm old enough that I used to watch the show that used to come on back in the day, the live
animated series.
Not even the animated. I watched the animated. Yeah. I'm talking about before the animated. They had a live action Hulk with it was an actual big dude. I forgot his name.
Incredible. Yeah, with Ed Norton.
I like that one.
That one was pretty fire. I was like, oh shit.
Ed Norton, but see, that's what he reminded me of the TV show guy.
Yeah.
The David Banner from the show was a lot like he was like a tortured guy, and he had to deal with the duality of being a Hulk. And it was kind of like a monster movie almost. You know what I mean? And then that's what I liked about the first movie is like they still made him scary. Like the Hulk was a scary, you know what I mean, creature in that. Yeah. But then once they got old boy back, the cast him, he kind of lost that shit, man. Like he wasn't as scary as he used to be.
I know in the Avengers movie, he was in the first one. He was, I think he was telling Cap and Natasha and Nick Fury and all them. He was like, I tried to kill myself, but he's like, when I shot the bullet, the other guy spit it out. And it was Hulk. And I was like, damn, bro. So I was like, you gotta really worry about that, bro. I was like, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it is. I like Mark Ruffalo as a person and an actor, but I just think he was miscast as Hulk.
I think they should have stuck with it. I mean, shit, you never know. Like they can always pop up with like the Secret Wars movie that they're coming out soon.
Yeah, maybe.
So I mean, it's a multiverse right now since we're in the multiverse saga, bro.
Maybe. Yeah, on multiverse. That's just been confusing.
Hella confusing right now, bro.
All this shit. But back to the Daredevil shit.
Yeah.
But basically, everybody knows Daredevil shit. But basically what happened in the third season was it just shows the rise of Kingpin.
Yeah.
And it showed how he was able to corrupt all these government officials and shit in the city. And but that was the third season. Then they brought that same kind of thing back in the fourth season because now he's free. And he was running for mayor. And
so I was like, he's running for mayor, no?
And he's basically kind of like on some Trump shit. and that's basically what the story was. But it was kind of a mixed bag too. The Disney version of Daredevil.
Well, because Disney likes the Disney,
right. So, but I was a huge fan of the Netflix, especially season 1. That shit was raw.
Yeah, bro.
I love just how gritty it was.
Or like very like street level.
And
I feel like the MCU's really missing a lot of their street level, bro.
That's what DC got.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
DC has over.
Go, bro. And then also too, like I feel like right now with like the state of Marvel right now, bro. Like I feel like right now, I think what they're missing is I think they need to go back to I think just going back to the storytelling of like how these heroes become who they become. I feel like with Daredevil, I feel like he's such a really good, interesting, complex character that like he has, I mean, honestly, let's be honest, like every one of the Marvel characters, they have a lot of iconic stories, but Marvel doesn't like to use those iconic stories. I don't know for what reason.
That's how most movie studios are. For some reason, they don't like to use the source material. They think the script writers think that they're better comic book writers.
Yeah, bro.
Which is this thing that bugs me about, saying.
And I feel like they're just allergic to money when it comes to their shows, bro. Like it's just, you have Daredevil, and then now you got the Hulk, and then right now Hulk is Smart Hulk or like Professor Hulk right now. And I didn't like the way they I didn't like
Smart
the way,
Hulk
bro.
or
Like,
Professor Moore.
give me back Monster Hulk, bro. Give me back, the angry Hulk,
He
bro.
burnt that fool back.
Oh God, bro. Hey, you never know. Maybe he might revert in brand new day.
Yeah, he might. I hope so.
Never
'Cause
know,
I don't like him either. But you know what I'm saying? Like back to the street level shit though. It's like they try to do that shit with Hulk, with the Hawk series, and I didn't like that either. Because they tried to, because that was like their first street level show that Disney was trying to put off. You know what I'm saying?
They were
They
gonna
put
hold
Hawkeye.
that, like the Young Avengers and shit.
Yeah. So
Like,
they were trying to do that with the show, and they made it like they set it in Christmas. And I watched it. I was like, all right, I'm gonna give this shit a try. But the problem is they made their villains too jokey, and so they didn't feel threatening. And this is supposed to be street level shit, and I'm not feeling threatened by any of it.
And then when
the
King
King,
joking, I was like, oh my.
So like, how y'all fuck up King?
Oh god, the most serious character that they have, bro.
He was not even
on the roster, bro.
I'm like, what is this?
Or what was also that Echo series?
Oh, that
dog shit, bro.
Fest.
Dog shit, bro.
I couldn't do it. There was just way too much sign language talking on there. It just lost me, bro. I was like, is this gonna get better? I was like on the third episode or something. Like,
it's not getting better, bro.
Turn it out.
Oh god,
y'all can tell me what it was like.
Dude.
It didn't work for me. I'm sorry, Marvel, but I do have my hopes though. They gonna get right with that.
They might come back, bro.
That new Spider-Man,
bro.
Fire though.
We gotta talk about that, bro.
And I know everybody's seen it. I don't even think I should play the clip because you've seen it. I've seen it.
Well, I think right now it beat the record for No Way Home.
Oh yeah,
on the views.
And that's crazy because that was that was dealing with 3 different Spider-Man. Everybody's hyped to see Tobey Maguire, Goblin, and all that.
We're seeing depressed Spider-Man, bro.
And now, Spider-Man's back to depressed Spider-Man.
Oh man, bro.
That's how we like our Spider-Man, nice and depressed.
Comic accurate, actually. Yeah. We love the comic accurate. They bring it back, bro.
I started playing the video game again, the Spider-Man.
Hey, I was gonna ask you. Let's talk about the suit.
The suit for this one.
What do you think?
It's going back to the basics, man. Basically.
Going back to the roots.
So it's not doing the Tony Stark high tech, goggle eyes and all that shit.
Yeah,
it's going back to friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yeah,
because a lot of Spider-Man fans actually didn't like that Tony Stark was so involved.
It was more of like kind of like the father figure for people.
Yeah. The father figure. But I do think it was cool that they wiped everybody's memory because that kind of sets him back to square one.
Yeah,
and now we're kind of seeing the Spider-Man that.
Well, he's becoming a teenager into an adult now.
Spider-Man, Spider-Team,
living up to the bro.
And they'll probably do Miles Morales next after they're done with their time.
Well, they need to finish up that Spider-Verse trilogy.
Depending on Sony. If Sony lets them, you know what I'm saying?
I love the gatekeep, bro.
Things, bro. We can't even see the Kingpin. Do you know how excited I was initially when they cast the Kingpin? I'm like, oh shit, Kingpin, and shit like Spider-Man Kingpin. I thought
they made him a joke.
And then they do that shit in Hawkeye, and then I'm like, come on, man, we got to see Spider-Man has to interact with Kingpin, man. Like,
dude,
he's just as much a villain of Spider-Man as he is to Daredevil. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna tell you my other favorite thing about this trailer, bro. Like the one thing that I love is that his organic webs.
Oh yeah.
Because now we're not. I mean, obviously we see some, in the comics.
Machine one.
Yeah, we got the tech, and then obviously Andrew Garfield is the one that uses the tech one in the Amazing Spider-Man.
Right.
But now since we got, going back to the organic webs, I was like, kind of reminds me of Toby. The goat.
The goat.
You know what I'm saying?
No, that's dope, bro.
And then we got the Punisher too.
I don't know why I'm getting Spider-Man 2 vibes from it, bro.
Yeah,
that's my favorite Spider-Man movie, bro. Spider-Man 2
with Doc Ock.
Even now, it holds up, man. The CGI and everything, bro.
Oh, they were way ahead of its time, bro. I felt like back then, the way that movies were done, I feel like their CGI was way better than how we're getting it right now.
It's like they paid more attention. Or something.
Oh yeah, bro. Well, because we got AI taking over everything, bro, and then now you just kind of you can't even fucking distinguish of like what's real or not, bro.
Right.
So like.
Now I'm hella excited for that Spider-Man movie, man.
Oh man,
I didn't know what to expect. But honestly, when I was like, I don't know what they're gonna do, and then I watched it. I'm like, oh, are they really doing like?
Were you surprised that the hand showed up?
Yeah, that too. I was like, what the fuck? And then here's another thing. It's being filmed by the guy that played what was the Asian movie that they did? You know, the one with the
Shang-Chi.
Mandarin, Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi,
yeah. And
bro.
I actually like half of that movie. I just feel like it went too CG in the third act.
Yeah.
And the kung fu shit and the slow motion and that fight he had with his wife and all that shit.
Bro.
That shit look beautiful, bro. And that's the same director. And he knows how to choreograph all that. And that's why you see that shot with the hand in the air in slow motion.
Yeah,
like
bro.
Shit. I'm like, all right, this shit might be in good hands.
Yeah, oh God, bro.
I'm really excited for this one.
And we're taking a new take off this too, bro, because I feel like the whole like Homecoming trilogy, you know, just him, you know, with Tony Stark most of the time, and then obviously we now got No Way Home with the 3 Spider-Man, and then now we got Brand New Day. Like I feel like right now, a lot of people are talking about that Brand New Day is being adapted by what happened to him in the comics where he becomes Man Spider.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I just found out that was actually in the animated series that originated.
Yeah, what I'm saying, bro.
I used to watch that shit when I was a kid.
Oh man, bro, I love that one. But yeah, dude.
That was. But I don't. Do you think they're gonna do a horror?
Okay, look,
because that's like body horror.
Look, bro, I think my theory is how they're gonna probably execute this whole entire movie, bro, just as a whole. I think. For me, I don't know, as a fan for Spider-Man, just seeing Man Spider this early in the game, I would love to see it, but I feel like maybe we might see Man Spider in a dream sequence. Maybe he's mutating, right? And as he's mutating, he's going to see like maybe like in a dream where his mutations kind of like start going crazy and he sees a version of himself turning into like Man Spider.
Yeah.
But I feel like it would just be like maybe a simple like dream sequence, but probably not like, you know, something as a whole, you know, like in the movie.
Yeah, that shit freaked me out.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, oh shit, bro. Like,
I'm low key. I mean, not even low key. I'm like, people know I hate spiders.
Remember in this clip too, like he goes towards the X-Men for help.
Yeah.
He goes to see like, hey, bro, like you guys think you guys can help me, and then
that's
now we can't, bro. Like,
now you're talking about X-Men because people are saying that redhead girl is gonna be Jean Grey. So now it actually makes sense that maybe he does reach out to them.
But then also too, it's like,
you know what I'm saying?
Would it be Jean Grey though? Because I mean, Sadie Sink is a character.
Because are mutants even in this version of this universe?
Like, you know what I mean? What I'm saying, bro. Like, even if they explain like, oh, this is Jean Grey, right? Marvel's gonna have to do a really fucking great job to explain how we have mutants already, because they weren't even talked about from like Avengers, and then also too the solo series for Iron Man, Cap, and everything.
They were only first mentioned in that one chick's Marvel.
There was, you know, I forgot to tell you, there was a deleted scene where Nick Fury, he's talking about there was in the first Iron Man, I believe, where he was talking about like, I think the Avengers and everything like that.
Oh no, that's Mary Jane though. But
see, look like that. If they made something like that, bro, I was like, oh shit, like I don't know, bro.
I think this is what inspired the comics to do the Wolverine run, where he actually turned into like
the Feral. Yeah, the Feral Wolverine. Yeah.
Like I said, this era is what kicked it off for me as far as me getting into drawing comic book style art and comics in general.
Yeah.
Like seeing all that. I was so into like Jim Lee and all that when I was getting all the comics. And then they got the Punisher in the show, bro, like in the animated Morbius. I remember this episode.
Talking about Morbius, bro. I fucking hated that movie. Oh man, bro.
It was all right. Like it wasn't that special, but it wasn't like I didn't hate it, but I was like, it could have been better.
Yeah, I'm like, and then like they're trying to get like an Avengers type Sinister Six and that's in the universe, bro. I'm like, bro, what's up?
Actually, I gotta edit. I actually did do a review. I just never put a clip of it. Yeah. But I'm gonna make it even though it's late as fuck. But I said some shit about it in that clip. I definitely gotta make it.
Yeah.
So people be on the lookout for that clip. It will be coming soon.
Oh,
From the Dark Dimension podcast. Eric, shout out to Eric, Easy E. But yeah, man, back to this though, man. Like I am looking forward to this, man. Oh, also, you know how they got the dude that's he did in the trailer. You got a guy that's talking about the spider and how they mutate. And it kind of sounds like Keith David.
They said that's Tombstone.
They said that's Tombstone,
bro.
But what if the lizards is? What if it's actually not even? What if the lizard's the main? Because he mutates and all that shit.
I mean, honestly, bro, with the way that they're kind of like, I mean, I hope that this movie is better than the first 3 that we got. Yeah. Like No Way Home was good.
I didn't like the second that much.
I didn't like it either because I feel like they could have done Mysterio could have been done a whole lot better. Yeah. But like I feel like the way that maybe they might execute everything, right? What I was talking about, I think if anything, my theory is that maybe I think Ned and MJ are gonna remember Peter again because of Jean Grey. If Jean Grey is in the way, hear my theory though, because I feel like her powers. Okay, so everyone, listen, just listen to me. Let me cook real quick. Let me cook.
Let him cook.
I think that if Jean Grey is in this movie, her powers are telekinetic and they're psychic, right?
Yeah.
So what if she ends up playing a role where because I don't know if you saw there was in the trailer where at the end where MJ in her apartment she had pictures of Spider-Man. I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't see it.
It was at the end of the trailer, right?
Oh, okay.
But she has pictures of Spider-Man, and people are theorizing that maybe she's starting to pick up of like, oh, maybe I do have some sort of connection with the Spider-Man guy.
Yeah.
So maybe she's starting to remember like how she was trying to figure it out, like in the Homecoming trilogy. Remember how in the second one she was like, oh, I'm starting to pick up that maybe you are Spider-Man. Remember when they were talking?
Right.
And you're right. Okay, so. Damn. I'm thinking that maybe Jean Grey can enter into Ned and MJ's mind and then unlock that memory that they had of Peter. And I don't know, maybe that could happen, maybe not. But I feel like maybe if they wanted to, they could undo Doctor Strange's spell, but only with Ned and MJ.
Right, yeah, maybe.
You know what I'm saying? So that we can, see MJ and Peter, have a relationship. Because we got Paul again, bro. And everyone in the comics, bro, everyone hates Paul, bro. Everyone hates Paul, bro.
Damn.
But that's my theory. I don't really know, but like, I mean, if they come out with Man Spider, and then if we see Jean Grey, then I feel like they're gonna have to do a lot of explaining for the movie.
Yeah, especially because Jean Grey, because mutant, like you said, X-Men technically aren't really part of the main MCU.
Well, they're not mentioned,
or at least the universe, that universe in particular.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because obviously we had the Deadpool thing, but that Wolverine was from a different universe.
Whole multiverse.
Chaos universe we haven't really seen because in his shit it was different.
Yeah, we're dealing with the Fox X-Men, bro.
We're dealing with Fox X-Men, which we kind of had dealt with a little bit in some of the other movies, or even the show. The WandaVision show had one of the X-Men cast.
Quicksilver. Yeah, with
but they didn't.
Evan Peters.
They were just like teasing the audience with it, but they didn't really own it.
Yeah, what was he like?
It's supposed to be her brother, but
Joe. No, but his like real name.
Oh yeah,
it's like stupid. Joe Boner or something.
Yeah, it's like Boner.
Yeah, I was about to say, bro. I was like, what?
And I was hyped. I was one of those fools that thought, oh yeah, WandaVision. That's going to be our introduction to the.
Because you can't have Scarlet Witch without her brother. Yeah. And then everyone tends to forget that they're the children of Magneto.
Exactly. In comics, yeah.
So what the fuck is Magneto?
Yeah, exactly.
Never showed up, bro.
Never showed up. But this is a totally different kind of universe with the MCU.
Yeah,
they did it differently because they had to because of legal issues.
Yeah,
but they didn't own the characters at the time. They own it, but with the movie rights in particular, they have the movie rights.
And we usually know as fans how that tends to go, bro.
Yeah, so.
Shout out Sony for sucking.
Yeah, I think at the time Fox,
yeah, so
but
at least Disney bought all the properties back, bro.
Man, hopefully everything goes right, man. Like I said, I'm one of those people that even though I did watch all the X-Men movies and I wasn't particularly a fan of all the casting that they did or some of the things that they did in those movies were just kind of a fail for me. You know what I mean? So I am looking forward to a new take on the live action X-Men. Yeah. And speaking of one more Marvel property, we got to talk about.
Ooh,
your boy, what's his name?
Spider-Noir.
Nicolas Cage. Crazy son.
He was Ghost Rider too.
I never watched it because the trailer looked like shit to me.
Yeah, bro.
But he was Ghost Rider.
He was Ghost Rider
in the Fox movies.
For people who do not know,
Marvel hasn't even discussed even bringing that shit to the film.
Well, they said that they wanted to do a project for Midnight Suns.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't really know too much, but I know they're more of like a paranormal type of theme in the MCU. So, I mean,
Bitstow shit.
Yeah. So, I mean, but, bro, he popped out in Ironheart.
Yeah. So
I didn't like Ironheart.
I didn't watch Ironheart, man.
It was just...
You know what they did say? It's good that I haven't watched the Marvel, what's his name? The new show that came out.
Oh,
it has one of my
was it the Marvels?
No, it's Mr. Marvel or some bullshit. I forgot what it's called.
Miss Marvel?
No. It's something that was low key, came out, and a lot of people didn't watch it, but the people that did watch it say it's fire, and people are just sleeping on it.
Which one?
And so I gotta watch it, man. I really gotta check it out, bro. But it features an actor that is good. He's been in some movies I've liked. Fuck, sorry, people. We're trying to find this shit right now.
Bear with us. Bear with us. Bear with us.
I'll edit the boring shit out.
Hey, Loki was a really good one after that.
Loki and WandaVision were my two favorite ones.
Oh man, bro.
Hey, shout out to X-Men 97. That's fire. But no, I didn't watch the one you was talking about with the chick.
Don't watch him, bro. I'd just rather save you the pain, bro.
Yeah.
I heard Wonder Man was good too. Think they're gonna release it.
That's what it was.
Was it Wonder Man?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking Marvel. Man.
Oh, the actor, he showed up in Aquaman too.
Yeah.
He was Black Manta.
Yeah, he was in Candyman. All kind of.
Oh man,
I like the actor.
I heard that one. Everyone's sleeping on that one.
Yeah, everybody's saying I got to catch it, man. I forgot all about it. Even just now, I totally forgot it, man. I haven't been keeping up with shit, bro. As far as the Marvel shows,
I've been trying to, bro. It's just like,
I think it's the name of it, Wonder Man, because people are, man. People think of Wonder Woman.
Yeah, like
Wonder Man. What's that? A different take on it?
Well, I feel like the way that they kind of like released the show, and then obviously Disney Plus stuff's doing like those little ads for the trailers and stuff. Like it kind of really didn't oh my god, I want to watch this show so bad.
The marketing wasn't good.
Yeah, like it wasn't, like to the point where like they market, Shadow Super Mario Galaxy or like even the new movies that are coming out too, bro. But I feel like with this one, I heard that one was really good too.
Yeah, I need to catch up, people. But what I am looking forward to is the Nicolas Cage. Amazon produced, I guess.
Yeah, kind of
Spider-Noir. Noir. How do you say it? Noir. But basically, that just means like detective shit. That's what those old detective movies back in the days used to be called.
Oh, the swing and that, and some of those scenes remind me of Toby's swing too.
Oh, Toby will be forever immortalized. I hope we're recording. I could have swore we're recording, but I hope we're recording. I remember we did an episode my first episode with Josh from Thursday Hip Hop. We didn't record. So we lost that whole episode. It was on the Grow podcast. It completely lost it. I was so disappointed. I was like, fuck, I forgot they had to record with private investigators.
So
So that's what Noir means. It's like detective, like those old school
private investigators. Yeah.
Used to be like this. They had that kind of look to it.
See, look, from the producer inspired, but it's not the one that,
So I'm assuming it's because Sony didn't make this and it's Amazon. Man.
Yeah, so I think it's probably something very different. And I hope that they knock this show out of the park because, I mean, like, look at those scenes, like, even the mask. Like, I like the way they're going with this.
I even like it as black and white. Like,
yeah, I'm going to watch it in black and white, bro. I feel like the color's not going to do it justice, bro. Like, I feel like
it just needs to be in black and white, too. Yeah, it looks dope.
And then Nicolas Cage being
bro, yeah. He was so good in what was those comic book movies? Kick Ass.
Yeah,
that shit. I loved him, man.
I love the way they made that costume too, bro. Like I think they said Electro's coming out.
I gotta draw this, man. This is one of my people. I do plan on drawing some Spider-Man shit soon, so be on the lookout.
Peak is on the way. Peak is on the way, bro.
Nah, see, yeah, that color. I don't like the color version.
I think they said Sandman's coming out in this one too.
Sandman. That's why we haven't seen him since Spider-Man.
Like, hey.
Oh, I know you gotta talk about this shit.
Okay, I kind of saw this. Right, okay, let's get into it, bro.
Now, you weren't born in the 80s. You were a youngster.
No, yeah, I'm a youngster.
I'm an 80s baby. So I grew up with this shit back in the day. And we talking about that He-Man shit. What's funny is I can't remember one single plot of any of those.
Okay, so I was gonna ask you. So like, I know a little bit of Masters of the Universe, but you think you can like give me like a whole like breakdown of like what's kind of like whole summed up about it?
See, I'm not the expert. I just I remember I used to watch that shit when I was a kid, but
so it showed up as a kid. Yeah,
deep into it though.
I know. Was it? It's Skeletor, right?
Skeletor was the enemy, and they're in that like fantasy place or whatever, a different dimension kind of place.
I'm saying
space or some shit, and then but He-Man is from there, but in this movie, I guess his mom sent him to Earth to hide him from Skeletor or some shit.
Oh.
And then so he eventually finds the sword, and I guess he goes back to that place he's from. Forgive me, people, for forgetting what the fuck the name of I forgot the name of the shit.
Because I know from what I remember is obviously that quote. He's like, "I have the power."
Yeah. I even I watched the '80s movie. I'll talk about that in a little bit after this. But that one, my issue with it when I was a kid, I thought like, man, it's just like a Star Wars knockoff. Because they made Skeletor seem like the Emperor.
Yeah,
that's what it came off to me. And it was, but I'd watch it, in the 80s, and like, hey, we take.
Well, does he have like a skeleton army or like?
Nah, it's just like mutant looking dudes and shit. Like, like they're not skeletons; they're just like other kind of like crazy looking dudes. But I haven't seen this ever, so this is new to me, people. So we gonna
Hey, I was just a little afraid when they said that Jared Leto was gonna voice him. I'm like, why are they getting him? Why is still getting this guy projects, bro?
I know, right? Like,
You know? Hey, I love his music, but I mean, when it comes to like movies and acting, I'm like, I don't know if he's the guy, bro.
he's just to me, and all the ones I've seen, he's just Jared Leto. Like,
Yeah, you know, like he's just
even though a lot of
Jared
people
Leto.
say he can do different kind of roles,
Yeah,
it sucks that you're not gonna be able to hear it. But they should actually show his voice on here.
yeah, I saw a little bit of the clip. Yeah,
He sounds kind of like the one from the live action movie in the 90s or 80s.
well, they said like he sounds unrecognizable, right?
Yeah, yeah, it doesn't sound like just, oh, they brought the tiger.
Because when
That's
I
crazy.
remember when he gets the sword, the tiger kind of like,
All right, so that's Grayskull, the Castle Grayskull. That's the
okay,
Skeletor shit.
that looks really badass.
Hopefully they won't do too much in the real world and they'll get to his land.
So, do they bring up the real world in like the lore, or
I think so, but I'm not sure. Like I said, I know what's his name. Kevin Smith did his own run that a lot of fans were kind of mad of.
yeah?
And I know there was a show in 2011 that really fleshed out everything, and they even have a different origin for the Skeletor.
I know they did another animated one with Mark Hamill voicing
Yeah,
Skeletor.
yeah. I think that's what we're talking about, the 2011 one. And that one actually looked cool, man. I've seen some clips of it.
Damn.
My boy Idris Elba's in this shit.
So what is he? Is he like a king or?
Yeah, he's kind of like a king, like a prince of that land, and they're fighting for the Grayskull and the sword and all that shit. So
Damn. Oh, so they show him as a kid and everything, like flashback. Oh,
so now he's coming back to his own world.
oh, so now he got his sword.
Remembers it and everything. Yeah, yeah. So that's the sword, and that sword gives him power.
Oh
So
shit.
anytime that's why he's like, I have the power. You know.
Okay, Loki, that's kind of hard.
That was
That's
hard.
kind of hard.
That makes me
bro. Okay, come on, bring him back, bro.
It looked like the cartoon.
That shit look fire, bro. Looks fire.
I ain't gonna lie, the second trailer really got me hyped. Okay, so now you hear him talking.
Okay, yeah. Now we got Skeletor and everything.
The Skeletor looks dope though. He looks like the cartoon.
I love his design, bro. For this one, I was like, damn. He looks menacing as fuck.
Yeah.
He looks really menacing, bro. Oh, sweet. We're right. So there's like creatures.
Yeah, they're bringing up like
Damn.
back in the day. There was a lot of action figures.
Yeah, so I big ass. I was like,
I had a friend. He had everything. He had Castle Grayskull. He had like every fucking character.
He was a geek for He-Man then.
Bro, he must have been, bro. He had all that shit. I just had like Ninja Turtle shit.
Oh,
It almost sounds like Bane a little bit the way he's talking.
oh, look at those moves too, bro.
That shit looks,
Damn.
I like the way his design looks, and this shit looks dope.
Okay.
That looks real.
Damn.
That looks like a proper, you know.
yeah, like proper Skeletor.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because like I said, the one in the old movie, he looked like a wannabe emperor from.
Yeah, well, I feel like
the
most
mask
of, the mask looked funny too.
Yeah, yeah,
bro. Yeah. I saw a little bit.
They got
of a clip
cheap
for
with the
that.
mask, you know.
Man, bro.
I'm hyped.
Yeah, that-
And I had, like I said, I can't remember a single plot point to any.
Well, I feel like the studios, like nowadays, bro, like honestly, this is just my opinion. Like, I don't know if, the viewers or the audience, like, the same way as me, but I feel like studios and like when it comes to like, obviously, like bringing back like old school shows that we used to watch, like it should bring the kid out of you.
Yeah,
It should bring the wonder out of you, you know? Like, I should be going to,
like Spielberg movies.
yeah, like I felt the same way when I saw Jurassic Park.
Right.
I love dinosaurs, bro.
Yeah.
Like ever since I was
First
little,
one
bro.
was crazy.
Oh my god, bro, that was like ahead of its time, bro. See, look, like we got shows like that, and then we see like how they do it in live action. Like it has to bring back like the kid and the spark in you, bro.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely.
But sometimes they don't like to do that.
Nah,
Yeah, they just love to kind of like make it like a cash grab type
Cash
of movie,
grab,
bro.
yeah.
You know, so like,
What's it?
yeah, what I'm saying, bro.
Oh, now that's crazy how they actually did that in the movie now, bro. That shit looks cool. Like,
You know, like their
that's the
animation
tiger.
looks like,
from the-
yeah,
you know what I
bro.
mean? Like they got the tiger in it.
Like the animation looks so ahead of its time, bro.
Actually, to be honest though, like a lot of the animation from like the 70s and 80s was kind of whack. I ain't gonna
Wasn't
lie.
too good.
It wasn't too good. The studios were cheap. It wasn't until the 90s that they actually started getting better with,
Yeah,
with the animation
yeah,
and stuff. And a lot of the intros, like for example, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle intro,
Oh,
that was made by
no.
Japanese studios.
Really?
A lot of the old school shows that were made by Japanese studios.
Oh,
It was
shit.
cheaper.
Oh,
But the animation would look crazy, and that's how all those kids got hooked on.
hey, bro. I feel like what was so ahead of its time too was the Batman animated series.
Oh hell yeah, that should change the game, bro.
That was like most of the stuff I would watch when I was a kid, bro.
Yeah.
Godzilla as well.
That
Obviously Superman as well, Star Wars, all that geek stuff, bro.
speaking of geek shit, man, we'll bring back to some video game shit. Speaking of adaptions, the Super Mario movie, Super Mario Galaxy movie. Now I seen the first. The first one was pretty cool, man.
Okay.
Not gonna lie, it got me, man. I was like, there was like some legit Super Mario lore in there. You know what I mean?
I watched it yesterday.
Yesterday, the new one,
The new one, bro.
release date.
Okay, so I watched it yesterday, and after work, I was kind of like having like little second thoughts because I was like, okay, maybe this movie it's probably not gonna be the first one. But I went into it having full faith that, Illumination was gonna do good with it, like I was gonna see the classic Mario, Peach, the whole gang. And I was really excited about Yoshi.
Yeah,
Because Yoshi, come on, people. Everyone loves Yoshi.
who does?
So
She's Island.
what I'm saying, bro. And so I get into the movie, non-spoiler, nothing, just my full review. I think the way they kind of executed everything, a lot of people were saying it was fast paced, but I didn't really feel it. Like I felt like it was kind of like going at the same pace that the first movie was going. Honestly, people, there is a lot of references. So if you haven't played the games or you really haven't not know nothing, you're gonna get lost. But if you do know the games, if the faithful fans of Mario do know the video games, you're gonna get all the references, the Easter eggs as well. There's a lot of Easter eggs in that one.
Who has to play Super Mario?
You know what's crazy? A lot of people really
That's crazy.
because I noticed that I was having second thoughts before I was gonna go watch the movie, bro. Because I sometimes look at the Rotten Tomato score, and I'd be kind of like making sometimes my judgment on some movies before I go watch them, right? Then I saw it was at a 44%. And I was a little like, oh man, like maybe the critics might be right about this one. Yeah, I mean, because obviously no one, like it's a kids movie, but all the kids that grew up with Nintendo, we're all adults now.
Exactly.
And everyone that's grown up with the fandom and everything, we're all grown, and we want to be put on some good stuff, right? But I feel like the way that they did it in the second one, I understand what they put Super Mario Galaxy for. Like now we're getting, different universes. We're seeing, in the expansion of the Super Mario universe. And I think the way that, the whole movie turned out, just my opinion, people, hot take, I give it a 10 out of 10.
Damn.
I give it a 10 out of 10, bro.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10,
That's
bro.
Crazy.
So argue with me.
So it was that good, man.
Bro.
They had everything you wanted.
I think honestly, since I grew up with Nintendo and I grew up with Mario basically and Sonic as well.
You're right.
So those are my two goats, bro. So I mean, I think the way they did it, bro, I think it beats the first movie for sure, hands down.
That's what's up, man.
So I really like it.
Any references to Luigi's Haunted Mansion?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, you just gotta watch the movie to find out. I just don't want to spoil nothing because people don't like spoilers.
Non-spoiler review.
But hey, I will tell you people that there are two post-credit scenes. There's one mid-credit scene. Yeah, there's a mid-credit scene, and then there is a post-credit scene. And I think you want to stay for the post-credit scene.
Okay.
It's low-key kind of surprising, but I think people can kind of figure it out. Like maybe who is it going to be, but who knows?
Fair enough.
So I'd say go watch the movie. Take your kids, take your family, take whoever, bro. Take your loved ones, bro. Bring your girlfriend, bring your ex, bring everyone, bro. Like this movie is really good. So I think everyone's gonna enjoy it.
That's cool, man.
So I really liked it. Liked it, bro.
Like I said, I like the first one, man.
The first one was really good. I liked it.
Now I'm from the generation. I actually seen the live action back in the day, people. So I grew up watching that.
Retro games era.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of people didn't like that movie back in the day. I was a weird kid, and I actually ended up liking it, even though it was so not like
it was. You're talking about the live action one, right? Yeah.
A lot of people don't like it. Now I understand why, and everybody has. Trust me, I get it. But at the time, I liked it for some reason. I was a dumbass kid, I guess. But I have a nostalgia for it too, bro. So
well, I feel like honestly too, bro. Like I as I get older and I'm starting to realize that you really can't please the fans all the time.
Yeah.
Like a studio can put out like the best thing known to man, bro, or they can put out like the peak or fire or whatever, right? But the fans will still nitpick. Base of its animation. I know right now Invincible's getting a lot of hate with their animation. And I mean, sometimes their frames can be a little wonky. Sometimes we be thinking like, damn, like where did most of their fucking budget go? But like I feel like when it comes to, just I mean for me as a fan of like any genre, I just take the good with the bad. So I just love enjoying what I love, and I think at the end of the day, I feel like I enjoy most of the stuff that I like. So I mean, I think people should just give like, projects like a chance, even if it's bad, just still give it a chance, because I mean, everyone can say that, like we were speaking about Daredevil. I mean, it's good seasons, but then, as Disney kind of got it, like, they had some floppy episodes.
Yeah, they did. So it was a mixed bag.
So, but at least, if they, industries, studios, they always have their downs, but they always can come back up.
Yeah.
There's always a potential for that.
Just like we gave a chance to one of your boy, man, your boy Sonic, because everybody's talking shit when the first one. They're like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, I know. Hey, what, ugly Sonic?
Yeah, man. I don't know if you probably didn't watch this, but it's actually a low key. It was a pretty good movie on the low. The Rescue Rangers movie on Disney, because they kind of went straight to streaming, but they actually referenced the Sonic movie, and Sonic actually
with Chip and Dale. Yes, I remember, bro. I watched it. It was like ugly Sonic, uglier cries. Yeah, I remember that, bro.
That shit was crazy, man.
Hey, that movie was kind of slept on too.
No, it was, because I think
I really liked
straight
it.
to streaming. Yeah, it was kind of like Roger Rabbit.
Well, it was during the time of COVID.
Yeah,
remember? So it's like, you couldn't go to the theaters, and I'm gonna be honest, bro. I feel like when we couldn't go watch movies, especially stuff like that, I was looking depressed.
That shit was depressing.
I was like, damn, bro. I can't go to my favorite movie theater. Can't go see my favorite. Everything was straight to streaming.
Straight to streaming.
And honestly, right now, people can honestly agree with me on this one. Streaming is getting expensive, bro.
Yeah, so are the movies.
Well, what I'm saying, bro. Like, oh my God, bro. It's getting expensive, bro.
It was $6 out here, bro.
We gotta bring up my college.
We damn near about to walk to work, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro. These gas prices too, bro.
Gas prices are insane right now. So that's damn near $6. But anyways, though, man. But yeah,
going back to what we're talking.
Going back to Sonic though. Sonic 4 is about to come out. People, Jim Carrey's back in the role.
He came back, bro. Out of retirement for this one.
And would you say the robot Metal Sonic's coming out?
Don't even get me started about him, bro.
Yeah, when I was a young lad, I used to.
I'm a youngin'.
When I was a kid, man, they had a show. They had 2 shows actually. There was one that came out during the weekday, and it was a Sonic show, but it was a little bit more lighthearted, right?
Was it Sonic X?
I forgot what they called it, but it was just like it was a more kiddie show, and it had the what do you call it, Robotnik in it. But it was like you could tell, even though I was a kid, I could still tell that it was more kiddie. And then they had one that came on the channel USA that was a little bit more like, it felt like a post-apocalyptic.
Yeah.
That was the one I liked, but that one would come on Saturday.
Oh, that one was Sonic Underground.
I fucking
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Even
I
though,
know what you're talking about, bro.
I was a kid. I was 10 years old, and the other one to me just felt too kiddie. I was like, I'll watch it, it's something in the morning. But when the other one came on, bro,
with his sister and his brother.
Man, that shit.
I remember that one, bro. I remember.
That shit was hard, bro. But yeah, so
they made Robotnik more like sinister too in that show. I was like, damn, bro.
Yeah, I actually oh shit.
Oh
yeah. But the new Sonic, so you saying there's gonna be
okay, here's my theory. So since we were watching the trailer, I'm thinking that I don't know if you guys have ever played Sonic CD or know about the lore of that game, but there's 2 futures. There's a good future where obviously, everyone's gonna, that's a good future, so everyone, doesn't die or nothing like that. Robotnik doesn't take over the world, basically. Bad future is what this movie, I'm pretty sure, is gonna deal with. So they're saying that Amy and Metal, basically, they're kind of making Metal as like a Terminator type of like assassin.
Oh, shit.
Where I guess he got sent to, I guess, Sonic's timeline to where I guess he needs to kill Sonic. My theory is that Amy came back as well to warn Sonic that I think that there's a timeline where Sonic was never born or existed. And because Robotnik had no Sonic, he built Metal Sonic to basically take over and conquer Earth. And that's what leads us into the game where Robotnik and Metal Sonic basically are the ones that conquer the world in that bad future timeline. So they're saying that we're going to be dealing with time travel, but I'm assuming that maybe because Amy's going to warn Sonic that I think there's going to be ripples. I'm thinking that they're going to make Sonic 4 into a 2-parter. And the reason I'm thinking about that is because I think if they fail or something happens, I think they're going to introduce Silver.
I'm thinking. I don't know. That's my
Sonic has a
theory.
lot of lore now.
Yeah, that's a lot of lore. There's
Like,
a lot to
they've
them.
expanded the lore a lot, and so it's beyond just video game lore now. It's like they're including shows, they're including the video games, the comics as well.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So Sonic's one of those characters that is
So you got to really dig into it, bro, to understand.
it's crazy though, man. But it's cool to see him and Super Mario they're still a thing.
Yeah, they're still popping, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
so.
I mean, I'm never gonna get over Mario. I mean, because I played the game, so I mean, if the people have, hey, if you guys ever played Sonic and Mario at the 2012 London Olympic Games, shout out you get.
Damn.
Shout out, bro.
But Super Mario was actually my first video game I've ever played in my entire life, dog. Really? That was the first video game I seen somebody play. I remember I was at a house party in LA. I was a little kid. They brought me to a house party. I was probably 5 or 6. And I remember towards the end of the night, I was really tired. I was about to fall asleep on somewhere, and I see there was these 2 kids on the bed, right? They're like, "Hey, let's go play Nintendo." And I didn't even know what the fucking Nintendo was. And I see them, and all of a sudden I see Mario jumping and shit. I was like, what the fuck? But I was so fucking sleepy that I just passed out watching that shit.
what?
And then after that day, I begged my family for a
Whoa, did the Nintendo 64 come around that time?
fuck no, this was back in Nintendo, motherfucker.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? This wasn't even Super Nintendo.
Damn.
This was-
Okay.
You know what I mean? This was back.
This was old school.
Yeah, this was old school.
Damn,
That's what I'm saying.
bro.
That was the first Mario. Although originally I think the first Mario appearance was on
So you grew up more with Mario than Sonic, no?
Yeah. Well, I never owned the Sega Genesis. My nephew actually did, and I would go to his house and I would always play his. That's where I played Sonic.
Oh man,
and I was
bro.
like, this shit's dope. But
Yeah, that's what I'm saying,
I
bro.
couldn't ask my parents for another system. Obviously, so.
The blue blur.
But yeah, I fucked with it, and like I said back then, they had the cartoon out too for Sonic.
Exactly, so
I got into it.
They hustled the kids on that one too,
Yeah,
bro. You know,
they definitely with me.
Man.
All this shit is dope, bro. And then I played once the Dreamcast came out. My cousins out here in Cali had it, and I would play their shit. When I came out here and visit, I would visit, and I would go to their house or whatever, and I would just play that shit. Wow. Like, that got me into more of the new Sonic, and then you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I've always.
What do you think about their new games that they're coming out for like Sonic? You think
I haven't played them, so I don't know. You know what I mean? But actually, when I had I think the PS Plus account, when I had it on, I think I did. Like stream one of them,
like a new one, I feel it, bro.
Like, and but yeah, man, I think it's dope, bro.
Hey, I feel like they're the one that I have on my PlayStation. It's called Sonic Generations.
Oh, okay, yeah, I think I heard
that one was on the Xbox.
Yeah,
that one was on the Xbox, bro. Yeah.
And I guess recently they had done a remaster. I guess right now Sega, I don't know what's going on with them, but I guess since they haven't released like a new Sonic game, they've been remastering their old ones.
Well, that's cool too.
So, so they remastered Sonic Generations, right? But they added Shadow Generations.
Man.
Where basically Sonic, he's going out through, obviously he meets his younger self, long story short, they defeat Robotnik. Robotnik meets a younger version of himself. They're going through timelines and everything, trying to clear up levels and stuff, getting the Chaos Emeralds, right?
Yeah.
So now in Shadow Generation, just to sum up everything, it's the same thing with him, but Shadow was going back basically through his backstory, where how he lost Maria, how he lost Gerald Robotnik, but then also too because Sonic Generations was taking place at Shadow Generations. There was this entity called the Time Eater. So the Time Eater would basically erase reality, and Sonic and Shadow basically, as they're kind of fulfilling levels, they're restoring reality. And they needed the Chaos Emeralds to defeat basically the Time Eater and Robotnik.
Damn.
And so basically that's like the whole, and they're basically like happening around the same time. Because in one of Shadow's missions, he's basically racing with Sonic as well. It's so fire, bro. Like I really love that game, bro. It's really cool. So I mean, Shadow, man. Shadow.
Man, I was gonna say,
like the way you guys had the little mac and cheese back in the day, I was like,
bro,
damn.
I was trying to look, bro.
Yeah,
I was making Knuckles like when that
they had one for Sonic 06, I think.
Yeah, because basically all I was gonna say is that you don't know the hype. It was like the marketing for this, like Knuckles, dog. The marketing was crazy. We as kids, I didn't even own a Sega Genesis, but like I said, I was just so hyped. Just that little drawn, like they
were going crazy, bro. Like I was like, damn. I was like, we don't have this type of marketing nowadays, bro.
Marketing in the 90s was crazy, bro. Like
or even that one too, bro. Look at that one for the Genesis.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
man,
they had some crazy
Sometimes in the comics too, they do like little covers where they're referencing some of the games.
Well, word.
Yeah, bro, I swear, that's just fire.
But yeah, man, Sonic. Shout outs to motherfucking Sonic. Man.
Shout out to Blue Blur.
Nothing. All right. Now we stepping back into the movies for a little bit, man. I know you're a Superman fan. I know we didn't get to discuss too much. Well, this is your first time on here, anyways.
Yeah.
So. But I was a fan of the new Superman movie.
Man.
Despite some people not liking James Gunn's take on some of it.
Yeah.
But I thought it was we're going back to what Superman is supposed to be like. You know what I'm saying? Because I did like. I'm not shitting completely on James Gunn. I did like Man of Steel, just for the record. I did like Man of Steel. I didn't really like BBS and the other shit that came after it.
Yeah,
I like Man of Steel. You know, I thought that was cool, despite him being a little too emo on it. But it was a cool movie, man. And I like Henry Cavill. I thought that was good casting as Superman. But obviously, they went to total different.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god,
I didn't like the direction they were going with. They were going with Dark Justice.
Well, they said they were going to the Injustice. Yeah, so I was like, oh shit, bro.
You could tell that's where they were going with it once they got to the Dawn of Justice. Like,
hey, but you know, I feel like there was a little bit of good that came out of like Zack Snyder's trilogy. I mean, we got Darkseid. Darkseid, kind of, a little bit of Darkseid. Yeah. Oh man, he was just horror farming, like just in the background.
I wish we could have got
a Henry Cavill Superman versus Darkseid fight. Oh, that shit would have been crazy, bro. But you know, like I was talking with my dad. And because my dad, he's a hardcore like Zack Snyder fan because he loves him, bro. Yeah, if you talking about Man of Steel with him, this guy will give you like a whole like marathon of yapping, bro, like about that movie, right?
I had to get your dad on.
And so, me and him, we had I told him to sit down. I was like, hey, watch this new Superman with me. And so he was like, oh, a new Superman came out. I was like, yeah. I was like, James Gunn made it. And so he watched a little bit of the Guardians. And so we got done with the movie. And I told him, I was like, what do you think? I was like, James Gunn or Zack Snyder? And he's a little hard-headed, bro, because he saw the whole thing and he still likes Zack Snyder's take. But I told him, I was like, and he told me, he was like, why do you like this iteration so much? And I told him, I was like, look, there was a scene where I felt like I'm like literally kind of was like the whole sum up of the movie where it's Superman's dad, John Kent. And he's sitting down with Superman because Superman, he's everyone should know that scene. Everyone that's watched the movie should know that scene. Okay, so he's sitting down with Clark, and Clark, he's going through obviously like this identity crisis, and he's trying to figure out like, oh well, my parents sent me here basically to conquer Earth, and he was like, that's not me. I don't know if this is my legacy. I don't know if this is like part of me now since I'm Kryptonian. Like, are my people, were they conquering other worlds? Were they conquering? So there's questions going on in Superman's mind, right?
Yeah.
And so he sits down with his dad, his earthly dad, by the way, that obviously, him and Martha showed him like tons of love. Like they were, humble people. And this is what I told my dad, humble people, right? And he tells Clark, and he was like, your choices, your actions, that's what makes you who you are. And I feel like when I was watching that in theaters, I was low-key kind of tearing up, bro, because I think now, like, I mean, even for me as well, bro, like I resonated with that so much, luckily I have, both of my parents, I have my dad, and I think that resonated with me so much is because I feel like right now, currently with what we're all going through, all of us have our own, we have our problems. We have, situations we might be going through, and stuff that we don't talk about with our loved ones, right? But as something as simple as your choices, your actions makes you who you are, I feel like that's a good thing that I use even for my life, because I feel like, there's times where you want to do good, but then it's also easy to do, the wrong fucking thing, like, slacking off at work or, not trying to put in your best for anything that you want to do. Right.
Yeah.
But I feel like the one thing that I really liked about it was the hope. I felt hope in that movie. That's what
Superman's supposed to be.
I felt the hope in that movie, and man, don't even get me started on that soundtrack, because even in the first 10 minutes, bro, the first 10 minutes, I was already locked in. I was like, I love this movie, 10 out of 10, bro. And I think with what Zack Snyder was trying to do, I mean, like, I get it. Like, everyone loves Man of Steel. All the older fans of DC, they love, Man of Steel, Zack Snyder's take on everything. And I think when you see the contrast between Zack Snyder and James Gunn, you can tell that Zack Snyder took a really different, dark approach with Superman. Because, I mean, he killed Zod.
Yeah,
He snapped his neck.
Neck, people.
He snapped his neck, bro. And I think it kind of showed me a side of Superman where I'm like, I don't know if this is the type of Superman I grew up with.
Yeah, same.
You know, and I feel like with James Gunn's Superman, bro, he saved a squirrel.
Yeah, I remember.
He saved the squirrel.
Yeah,
you know, he's saving humans and he's fighting.
He's compassionate.
Bro, he's fighting a kaiju, by the way.
Right.
And he saves a squirrel on top of that. You know, like can DC Comics right now like say that, you know, like we came out with a good project, and I feel like that was Superman.
Yeah.
And I felt like, you know, the whole entire time I was watching that movie, like it just showed that Superman is very human. You know, he came down as an alien, but he basically he's you know, basically a fish out of water. You know, he's with humans, but he's a Kryptonian. You know, but he wants to do good because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And I feel like the way that him and Spider-Man, you know, are very similar with each other is because also too, bro, I like that Spider-Man, his motto is with great power comes great responsibility. And I feel like the way that they made it, you know, show in like all the movies with how responsibility goes with Spider-Man is that he's going through a lot. You know, Spider-Man has to deal with, you know, even in Brand New Day right now, he has to, you know, basically he lost his girlfriend. He lost his best friend.
Lost everything.
He's broke. And we've all been there before, you know, and like, you know, he's by himself. He doesn't have Aunt May, you know, so it's like, I feel like for me, you know, just in my life, like I love the way that these superheroes, you know, like tend to connect with the viewers and to connect with the audience because it's like, you know, it's what we all go through. But at the end of the day, the one thing that I love about both of them, and even in their movies that they show too, is that they never give up. Yeah. I feel like that's one thing that I want to, you know, tell the viewers, you know, like if you're feeling that, you know, you're going through something and, you know, if you feel like you're losing hope, you know, just keep going, never give up. And, you know, try to think about what Superman and Spider-Man would do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, so just, you know, keep going strong and, you know, just keep fighting the good fight and just keep living life and keep nerding out. That's the most important thing, people. Keep nerding out, bro. You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, I feel you on that, man. That's why I kind of like James Gunn's take on Superman as well, and they brought back the iconic Superman music from the original Christopher Reeves music and John Williams score. They brought elements of that back into it, and I really like that.
Oh yeah, bro.
And since we're talking about this, and since I mentioned Christopher Reeves back in the 80s, back in the dark ages, we did have a Supergirl movie back then as well, but I did never fucking liked it because it was weird.
Was she quiet most of the time in that movie, or was
I forgot she was played by a fine ass actress?
Yeah, I was like, oh,
she was fine as fuck, but the villain was a witch.
I don't really know too much about Supergirl's lore, but I mean, if it's a witch, I feel like it's just something that's like, yeah, it's just disappointing.
I just felt like they did it because of budgetary reasons, you know.
Well, both of them popped out in the Flash movie with Ezra Miller, which obviously I fucking hated, by the way. That one just
I hated. Well, I never liked Ezra Miller as the Flash.
I didn't know why they casted him.
I did like the Supergirl though in that.
What was the actress? Sasha Calle?
Yeah. I wish they would have kept her.
Yeah, I was like, boom.
That was the first.
I was like, she's a cousin. I was like, okay.
First brunette. Supergirl.
No blonde girls.
But she was dope, man. But we didn't go that route, obviously. And so what we did do is they recast her with, what's her name? Millie Alcock?
Millie Alcock or something?
Yeah.
I don't really know.
And Jason Momoa is Lobo. Now, I do know a little bit about Lobo.
Jason Momoa, though.
And I always knew that he should have been cast as Lobo. When he got cast as Aquaman, I was like, what?
He made Aquaman too funny.
Yeah, and Aquaman, you know who would play? Ryan Gosling should have played
Aquaman. Yeah,
swear to God, he looked just like the mother.
Ryan Gosling, if you're watching, bro, please, bro.
Comic accurate Aquaman. He bro, I'm telling you, bro, DC. Hire that man as Aquaman. That should be the new Aquaman.
I think you should run DC Studios, bro, man. They need the fans to run something, bro.
He would be perfect because Aquaman's not really known for like looking like Jason Momoa.
Aquaman doesn't. Well, he has long hair, but I mean, I think that was probably the take that Zack Snyder wanted to do. But Aquaman's more of like the serious, I'm a king, you know. Yeah. Like he'll make jokes, but I feel like they made, you know, just
kind of a joke to me though. It was like, I've never liked. I was like Aquaman, being out of water or something. Like what the fuck? When I was a kid, I just couldn't take him seriously. You know?
There was a scene in Zack Snyder's Justice League where he was like, oh yeah, this guy he fucks fish. I was like, oh shit. I was like, damn. I was like, Aquaman getting strays.
Yeah, bro.
You know, so. I mean, I with the Supergirl trailer, I mean, do I think they kind of like maybe I don't know. I haven't watched the movie. Well, none of us have watched the movie, but I mean, like with how they showed her in the trailer, I mean, I hope it's good. I mean,
I like this trailer more than the last trailer. I'll say that.
what was the last one? The
It was
teaser,
a
no?
teaser trailer,
Yeah, it was
but
a teaser trailer,
I
yeah.
was seeing it and I felt nothing when I watched it. I was like, what is this? I didn't like the casting of her as a Supergirl.
I think it's just because we don't really know her. Like,
Yeah.
we don't know the media of like where she comes from
Yeah.
originally, you know? Like,
I haven't seen her in anything else.
I like that they make Crypto more of like the Kryptonian dog, you know? Like, yeah, I was like, okay, they're
See,
faithful
they
to the
didn't
comic.
show him in the teaser, I don't think.
Yeah.
Now they showing Krypton. I'm like, oh shit, this is gonna bring everybody in. Somebody said, I think it was the Double Toasted. Shout out to Corey Coleman. He said this is basically a John Wick plotline.
Yeah, I was gonna say how like yeah,
But-
makes it kind of like a Guardians
But
vibe, right?
They said
Yeah.
it's also based on the comics. Like this is actually comic accurate.
This one is probably gonna be based on the Woman of Tomorrow.
Yeah, Woman of Tomorrow. They said that's basically the plot of that.
Well,
The dog and everything.
James Gunn, he was asked on an interview where he was saying, "Oh, how would you want to make your movie since you're head of DC, right?" And he specifically said, and he quoted that he wants to make his movies into like graphic novel movies, like how we see the graphic novels
Yeah.
and stuff. You know, they're all like colory, hopeful, and that's how he wants to make these movies. So like every movie is kind of like its own graphic novel in a way.
I hope so. I hope it is like.
So I was like, I don't know. I was like, I think it's just because I don't know too much about Women of Tomorrow. I know
Yeah,
there's
me neither. I mean,
you know, so-
I've never bought a Supergirl comic book. in
me
my life.
either. So I mean,
I don't know.
I'm more Superman, you know. So I mean,
He's always popped up in media, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
he's always been
yeah.
in the animated show.
Justice League Unlimited.
Yeah.
I loved her in Justice League Unlimited, bro. I
He's
thought-
been in things that I've liked. You know what I mean? Like as a character. So.
yeah, you know. And then now that I saw Lobo, I'm
Jason
like, okay,
Momoa
Jason Momoa was gonna
perfect.
kill that role,
Yeah,
bro.
that's
He
what
was meant for it.
Yeah,
bro.
that's what he was meant to be.
You know?
Not Aquaman. He was supposed to do this. You know what I'm saying?
I heard there's a rumor that they say that Superman might make a cameo in this movie.
I think his voice makes a cameo. I think he leaves a voicemail for her or some shit.
Like, you know,
Like that.
I think the one thing I like about it is that I love her suit. I love the way that they made her suit and Superman's suit. Like, it's very vibrant, very hopeful, very colory. And I think that's the one thing that I love, that they're paying attention to detail.
Yeah, I do like the color of Superman. I only thought it looked a little baggy on him. That's what I didn't like about it.
Yeah, and the first pictures of him and stuff, like it looked too baggy on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was a little worried about that because I'm like, I don't know if he's like getting too small or like not too big, you know? Like,
I did like the actor though. He was cool with Superman. I thought he was pretty.
oh, he killed Superman, bro. Like he really.
But is this a prequel? Did this take place before the Superman?
They're saying that
Because
this
the
takes
dog-
place.
Oh shit!
Well, they're saying that I guess this takes place after Superman, but I don't know if
I
it's
don't
true
know,
because
yeah.
Crypto's not wearing his
That's what I'm
yellow
saying.
symbol too and his cape.
And
So-
remember, she was an alcoholic.
well, I
Oh,
know
and he-
she was telling Clark at the end of the Superman movie that she was been drinking off
Yeah,
other
yeah,
worlds
yeah, right.
with the Red Sun because that's how she can get drunk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I guess Kryptonian biology, I'm kind of gonna nerd out over here, but Kryptonians, they basically without the yellow sun, they can't get drunk.
Oh, okay.
With the red sun, that's where they kind of strip away their Kryptonian bodies and then
Yeah.
become more like human, like us. Become more like human biology.
That's crazy.
Type shit. Sorry for nerding out, but
Never.
I just gotta let the people know.
You can't apologize to learn.
You know what I'm saying? So-
To nerd out. Yo, that's what we do.
It's a geek episode, bro. It's a geek episode, bro.
Geek out.
Love geeking out, bro.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm just trying to see. I think that we pretty much covered pretty much everything that we are gonna talk about for today's episode. But I know you wanted to speak a little bit on anime. So, has there been any recent anime that you want to discuss with?
So, I know the one anime I love to glaze so much, bro, is there's this anime called My Hero Academia. And My Hero Academia, they have a main character, well, actually two main characters. His name's Deku. Or that's kind of like his nickname, right? That his friends call him, but his real name is Izuku Midoriya.
Okay.
And it's a shonen. So basically means like for teens, young adults, so like shout out Demon Slayer, shout out the other shonens that are out there. They're mostly made for like adults, teenagers and everything like that.
Okay.
And I think the one thing that I love about this show is that Deku, he's grown up in a universe where half of humanity has quirks, so superpowers.
Oh,
Other half of
that's what they
humanity
call it.
don't have quirks. And I guess he basically became well, he was basically when he was born, he basically didn't have a quirk. So now he's trying to basically be in a world
Oh,
where
quirk.
he's quirkless.
Oh,
So that's what they call him, quirkless. And so that's All Might. All Might is basically the world symbol of peace. And the reason that I love All Might and Deku so much is that um All Might, well, for people that haven't watched the show, I don't really want to spoil nothing, but All Might, he grew up quirkless as well.
okay.
And basically he was bestowed a power called One for All. So One for All has been an accumulation of power that's been passed down from hero to hero. And so before All Might got his One for All, he got it passed down from his master, and so from so on. So Deku, he gets bestowed One for All from All Might because All Might, he's getting older in his age. He's not becoming, the world symbol of peace as he used to in his prime. So now he bestowed it upon Deku.
I like the animation.
And the animation's so good, bro. And the one thing I love about him specifically is that he basically makes it his own like main mission to become a hero one day. And All Might is the one that made his dream happen. And so he basically meets all his friends, Bakugo, Uraraka, other his classmates basically. And he basically enters into this hero academy called UA, where All Might is basically his teacher.
Oh, shit.
And they're trying to keep his power a secret because there's a villain called All for One. All for One is a villain where he used his quirks for evil. And so him and All Might have been like basically like Superman and Lex Luthor for a while, bro. And so they kind of now got Deku kind of like into this fight now since he got bestowed as like the next symbol of peace from All Might. And so basically to come out to sum up everything, Deku, he's just, from season to season, because there's 8 seasons, so it's not too long, but there's other anime shows like One Piece that are like 1,000. Yeah. So One Piece, I mean, if anyone has watched, no, there's people that have caught up on it.
Shout out to my co-host Dirt Diggs because he's the one that told me about One Piece.
So with this one, I love it so much, bro, because Deku resonates with, I feel like, with a lot of people, because I think that I feel like Deku would be Superman's favorite hero, like how I feel like Superman would like Spider-Man as well, right?
Right.
And I feel like with him, he makes it, like I said, he makes it a mission to become obviously the successor from All Might. But the one thing that I love about him is that he, as Superman and Spider-Man, he doesn't give up, because he knows that maybe there's gonna be a thorny path for him, because for heroes they go through a lot, right? And so he's maturing from every season to kind of figure out, oh my gosh, I'm basically bestowed all this power, and he got bestowed this power when he was at the age of 14. So imagine a 14-year-old with that much power. Like that's kind of mind-boggling to me, right? So he's maturing through every season. He's also like, trying to figure out like, hey, like I need to learn something. I need to figure out what this power is. And luckily he has teammates and classmates that help him throughout this journey. And so he basically, at the end of the day, he becomes the world symbol of peace. But at the end, something happens to him where, like, he kind of loses his power, right? And so, but he basically inspires people to be like better. So I basically, what the whole like point of the show is that there's a motto where they say go beyond plus ultra, which means that like in anything that you do, you have to go beyond like the Call of Duty, like like doing as best as you can, being the best version of yourself, right? And I feel like they do a lot with this show of like how heroes are dealing with their problems. There was even like a scene too where All Might, thinking that he's the best hero that the world has to offer, right? He's contemplating suicide.
Oh shit.
And they're going through like their traumas, their past, their backstories, which I really love. And I mean, there's some things where I didn't really like about the show as much, but I know the one thing that I do really love is that they inspire people to be better. They inspire people to be at their best versions of themselves. And I feel like as a hero, I mean, even for myself, I think the reason I look up to like Superman, Spider-Man, sometimes even these anime characters, right? is because I feel like they inspire me to be better. They inspire me to be better at levels where I never knew I can go towards, like bettering myself, bettering my future, securing my future, right?
Yeah.
And just like, inspiring people as well to like, just be kind to one another or to even, show love to one another, spending time with your loved ones, taking care of the people that you're supposed to care for, right? And I feel like sometimes even in anime, I was talking with one of my coworkers at work. Anime sometimes teaches you a lot of life lessons about the world and just teaches you like, like this is what you're really gonna have to do when you become an adult or when you become at a specific age where, this is what you're gonna base your foundation as like, in your life, like who you're gonna become, who you're gonna be like meant to be, right?
Yeah.
And so I feel like with the show, I love it so much, bro. And there's other shows that do the same thing, like Demon Slayer, One Piece as well. They're always basically just kind of like making it the mission that like, hey, there's hope for a better tomorrow, right? And that's what all the anime shows are about. And don't even get me started on the action. It's so good, bro.
Well, let me ask you this though: where do you be catching these on? Like, where do you?
Well, I mean, I know a lot of people really do know about this app. So, I mean, if anyone wants to watch these shows, there's an app called Crunchyroll.
Crunchyroll.
Like Crunchyroll.
Crunchy. Oh.
Yeah, not country. And so, yeah, it's Crunchyroll. You can basically like how it is with Netflix, Hulu. You gotta get a subscription with, if you want ads or no ads, right?
Oh, okay.
And I think it's worth it. I really like it. I think most of the shows that are coming out for like the younger generation, like myself, I feel like they're really, inspiring, life changing. Just food for thought.
Yeah.
And it was going back to Superman. I wanted to tell you to just kind of like, close out the whole thing about, anime and stuff. I think the one thing that I feel like anime and Superman have in common is that there was a panel of Superman in his comic. Where this is what I really fell in love with Superman when I got older, because everyone, I be hearing everyone's telling me, "Oh, Superman's too OP, Superman's too overrated." But then when the Superman movie came out, everyone was like, "Oh my god, I love it so much," and I'm just kind of like, "Wow, bro!" Everyone's just like, larping off me, bro. Yeah. So I think there was a panel, and this is what I really loved about Superman is that he's flying up to a woman that's about to commit suicide. And the woman, she's like, I'm tired and I just lost hope and I'm, most of my family, they're gone and it's just me. And I feel like, I'm not going anywhere. Like, what all of us go through, I feel like, we're going somewhere, but we feel like we're stagnant in a place or like, we feel like we're not, progressing right in our lives. She's feeling like that. And she's talking to Superman for almost like the whole day. But Superman, he's listening, he's hearing her out, and he's letting it hear.
So that's a panel in the comic book.
There's a panel, yeah. I forgot what comic book it is, but I know there's a panel. If everyone can search it up or say in the comments, I don't really know which one it is, but she looks at Superman. She's like, "What do you have to say about that?" She was like, "You're a hero. You do great things," but she's like, "I'm just an ordinary human. Like, what can I do? I can never aspire to be like you, right?" And Superman looks at her, and he's like. He tells her, he was like, I had a friend that committed suicide. He was like, I don't know why she did it, but he's like, I understood why. He's like, I didn't prove it, but he was telling her, he was like, but because of that, he was like, I do what I do so that I can inspire people or at least give people food for thought that there's hope for a better tomorrow. Mm-hmm. There's always tomorrow to look forward to because maybe we've had a shitty day today. Maybe we were having a bad day today. But there's always hope that there's going to be a better day to come.
Can't rain all the time.
Right? So he's telling the woman that, but he was like, if you believe what I'm telling you, that there's going to be a better tomorrow, grab me, hold on to me, hold my hand and everything's going to be okay. And I feel like in the same way that Superman embodies that hope, right? Anime does the same thing with their characters. Yeah. Like they basically kind of show you, hey, you know what? If you're going through something, hang on to that hope. That things are gonna get better. Things are gonna obviously get better for you. You just have to keep going, keep never giving up, right? And that's the thing that I really love about like these heroes, and obviously, and that's the reason I love being there, bro. Because I feel like there's, how people say there's levels to this shit, right? there is with the comic genre. There's things that I've learned in comics. There's things that I've even taken into my own life and use it as a way to kind of like fuel that I shouldn't be giving up. I should be doing better for myself, right? And I feel like at the end of the day, I feel like if all of us can take those words and embody it into it. Yeah, I saw a comment on TikTok on a Superman edit, and I really love this comment because someone said you can't be Superman, but you can live up to the name.
I mean, he's meant to inspire. That's his whole thing. That's why the James Gunn version. I mean, not James Gunn version, but the Zack Snyder version didn't really resonate with me though. After the first movie was because they kind of forgot about the whole Hope thing.
Yeah, I feel like they just kind of like saw and they're like, okay, we just gotta take every good thing about him and just throw it away, bro.
I think that was just because they were trying to be like Marvel and everything.
Well, Marvel was coming out with their darker stuff. Yeah. I mean, they came out around that time, Age of Ultron. That was already their second Avengers movie.
Civil War.
That was dark as well.
But I think when people say that Superman's OP and shit like that, I think it's just people that don't understand the character or people that don't know how to write Superman. And that's the main thing that was happening with these movies. Is like they didn't know how to write him. They don't know how to write a good Superman story. And so then we end up with trash. But luckily there are people that know how to write them and we get good stories.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Stories like that.
I'm low-key really happy that maybe that James Gunn is running DC because I think with him, there was some interviews I've been looking at, like about, they ask him questions about like, hey, how are you gonna run DC? Like what's the big plan here? Like, are you just gonna lead up to like an event or something? And James Gunn was like, no. He was like, I just want to tell stories so that people can obviously understand these characters a whole lot better and that, maybe they can take away something from these movies, like something, that they can use in their own personal lives, and I feel like with Superman coming out and then, well, Superman already came out, but, Supergirl's coming out and then obviously the other DC projects, like I'm really looking forward to the Batman Brave and the Bold.
Yeah.
Because we haven't had a Batman, well, I think except for the Robert Pattinson one that came out.
Yeah.
And then they're going to make Batman Part 2.
I think it's filming next week.
Yeah, they're going to come up with updates about that one.
That's like a realistic, I guess, down.
Yeah, like you, down there.
And I love it, though. Don't get me wrong. I love it, especially me being a horror person. I like horror kind of inspired things, and that's where they're going but with the Batman Brave and the Bold, I think it's interesting that the Robin that they're choosing is going to be Damian.
Hey, I feel like it's too early for Damian right now. Yeah, maybe he's already established in the universe, but we don't even know.
But it's still like, if they do it, like I've always said, if you're going to do a Robin in a live action movie, he has to be at least a teenager. I can't buy anything younger.
I'm going to be honest, I really want to see Dick Grayson.
Dick Grayson.
Yeah, like I want to see like a really good like live action Dick Grayson. Or maybe, you know what? Even if they're like, oh, we're not going to do Damian, maybe we can do like Tim.
Tim.
Or maybe Jason Todd.
But if they do Jason Todd, they have to do the whole.
Oh, bro, if they do the Death in the Family. Oh my God.
Death in the Family.
Dude, that
DC animated is my shit.
Oh, man, bro. I'm gonna give DC their props. They do some really good fucking animated movies, bro. I'm gonna give them their props,
we watched the fuck out of
those. Oh man,
especially that
was my childhood.
I put them on to that Death of the Family one with the under that red hood because they didn't know about it. And I told my cousin, I was like, watch this shit. And I left.
The comic for that one actually goes for a lot right now.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That shit came out in the 80s. Definitely.
The first I saw that the first issue for Superman, like the first appearance, that sold for auction on like $1 million or $2 million.
Wow.
I was like, damn.
Well, it's like the Wolverine comic when his first appearance was in a Hulk comic, I think.
Yeah. I got that one in my collection right now, bro.
I was going to buy a reprint back in the day when I was like 12 years old because I wanted it and I didn't have the money for it.
Dude, it's just, I love even reading comics, but that's the only thing I read, bro. When it comes to other books, I can't do it. It just, my attention span's so bad, bro, But like when it comes to like comics and like fantasy and everything like that, I'm there, bro. I'm the guy. I'm the guy, bro.
That's cool.
And
you also do a little bit of drawing yourself.
I do. I mean, anyone who follows me, I know I do a little bit of sketching. I'm not as good as you are. Because you're most likely the best.
I'm just old.
But I try to do my best when it comes to like sketching and
like I said, just do it every day. I know it's hard to do every day, but just whenever you can.
I mean, you did tell me you're like it just takes practice.
It takes a lot of practice.
So
there was days when I would just draw for like hours and hours just practicing. And especially when I got back into it, because I remember I told you I had stopped drawing when I got to high school, because I thought I was too cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was
yeah.
like, and I just really didn't think that nobody gave a fuck about my art anyways at that point in time. So I was just like, why am I drawing? You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
I just
bro.
stopped drawing,
Yeah.
and I was into other kind of shit. But then I got into music. But then after I lost interest in some of the other shit I was doing, I went back to art, and that's
Yeah.
what ever since then I've been in just full time art.
Gotcha.
But,
Yeah. No, I love your art, bro. Like that's probably like where I want to give like my end game art, like just off you, bro. You know, so
man, you probably do better than me, bro. So
I'm just barely kind of like touching up on my details, bro. So I'm not even there yet, bro, at the level that anyone else is getting there.
So,
You
like
know,
I
so
said, it takes time, but it takes just lots of practice, man.
a lot
Just
of practice.
on every day as much as you can.
And
And
I
like I
try
said, I
to.
know it's not easy, especially if you got a job, especially if you got school. Like I know, trust me, I know I was there. You know what I mean? And it's still hard for me. Like sometimes I'll try to sneak in some drawing practice at work if there is time, and I'll do it.
You're
But
telling me on those little notepads, though.
yeah, I'll
Yeah.
draw all over the place,
Yeah.
bro. Like, but you know what it did? It made me better at drawing fast, man. Because when I used to work at a different warehouse, I had this thing where my job was to count items throughout the inventory counting, right? It was easy, but it was boring as fuck. But so sometimes I would count all the items real quick, and then on whatever I had to draw on, it would be I don't give a fuck if it was cardboard.
Oh,
I
yeah.
would draw a
Oh,
thick ass
yeah.
piece of dude. I drew my fastest one was I drew a fucking Batman. He looked like he was walking, but I drew background and everything. Had a
Bro.
building, the whole
What?
shit. I was so proud. Like, damn, I do this shit. And I left it there because I was like, I'm not about to keep it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just left it so somebody's gonna find it. And I would draw shit all over the place, bro.
That's so
It was
fire.
crazy. But it
But it's
helped
like
me
little
get
stuff
fast.
like that, you know,
Yeah.
like to take practice and stuff, you know?
Yeah, and then because mainly I draw with pens. And so when
Yeah,
you draw
yeah.
pens, you start
I don't know how you do it with the pens, bro. Like I get scared sometimes, even with the
pencils,
with the lead pencils.
But it's
bro.
because I don't know. I like it brings more contrast, so it's darker.
Yeah,
With
yeah.
pencils, I hate the one thing I hate about pencils is they're so light. So whenever you draw, you have to go over it with other pencils.
Well, they fade away a lot more
Yeah.
because I know on my sketchbook it fades away a
Yeah.
lot too.
Well, I don't know if you bought like pencils, like the graphite pencils of drawing pencils or
I
whatever.
haven't. I haven't.
Okay,
They're kind
so
of
they have different shades.
I noticed that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so you would
I
start
remember.
like 2H would be the lightest. Sometimes I would do that when I would start the initial sketch just to see where I'm gonna lay out everything, right? So I would start it off. That's how I started off.
I've been seeing those people that are doing the little circles and then they kind of like draw it all in as they're doing
Yeah,
it.
because everything breaks down to basic shapes. That's the easiest way
Yeah.
for you to think, because you got to think in 3D. You know what I mean? Like you got to think of like, okay, how would this look going here? This arm is kind of shaped like a two,
Yeah.
a circle, and then eventually you'll go and start erasing something, and then go over with a darker.
Yeah.
And then, so that's why I would always start off with really light. Plus, another thing I hate about drawing pencils is the erasing part. If you got a bad eraser, it fucks up the paper. So you got to get a knead eraser, is what they call it, and a regular eraser. And then some of them have like, you buy the little plastic thing where
Yeah.
Those are good.
Yeah,
Those are
bro.
good.
Oh.
But I hate having to deal with all that, and that's why I kind of like digital more, because I can just erase it's easier.
Yeah.
But when I'm drawing with pen, the only thing is like whatever mistake you make, you got to live with it, and you gotta just go with it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Go with the.
But it just teaches you to make the lines that matter. That's what it teaches
I'm
you.
gonna be so honest too. Like ever since I started sketching, I low key think it's probably like my most favorite hobby right
Oh,
now.
that's
Yeah, I love it too because every time that I'm at work, I'd be thinking about like, oh, what am I gonna sketch on my sketchbook? Or even too like when I'm not thinking about comics, though, I'm like, oh, like what can I draw today? Like what am I gonna put my mind to?
Yeah.
And I feel like, everything you're describing, I feel like only people who like, know about like sketching or drawing don't understand like, oh, like I know what you're talking about, you know what I'm saying? So,
So
but I do need to get those markers too.
geeking out over the drawing shit. Yeah. Yeah, man. Like the Copic markers, I think they're the most expensive ones. But if you ever, maybe you should roll with me one day. We can go like to a Hobby Library or a Michael's. 'Cause I used to go to
Down,
Michael's.
bro. Yeah.
Michael's had all the pencils.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'll teach you. I'll explain to you how most of that shit works. Like I got a sketch pad right now that I've only drawn like one picture on it, but I plan on doing a lot of the pen ones on that one from
Fire.
that one's in
Fire.
right. But yeah, just that's basically what I would do. Is just start off with a light sketch, then I would go over it with probably like what they call a 2B pencil, which is just the shade 2B, and
Gotcha.
there's 6B. I think the darkest.
I need to do better on my shading right now too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but But basically, yeah, you just do that. And then in the comic book sense, I guess what they have, you got the penciler, he just does pencils, right? That's the process for a comic book. So they'll hire you as a penciler. I think they pay that the most. That's the most paid.
Being the penciler.
Then the penciler.
Oh,
then you got the inker. And he comes with inks, but he got to tighten everything up. He got to make
that shit be perfect, bro.
That have to make sense for you. You got to understand what you're watching. So he actually has. I think there's more pressure on the inker to get that shit right because he really got to bring.
Because if you're with the penciler, come on, they're just kind of making a template and then
you can leave mistakes and shit. Yeah, inker comes, he has to go right behind your shit and fix your shit. Then you got the color.
Kind of like to perfect it, no?
Yeah, exactly. And then you got the colors. But that's just a process. That's an industry process just to make the shit go by quicker so they can put comic books out quicker. But when I draw digitally, I bypass the penciling part altogether.
I was gonna ask, what do you feel is easier? Do you feel like it's easier to do it digitally, like digital art, like on your tablet, right, or like just on the tablet, or do you feel like it's easier
with the tablet because I could just erase quickly, like even if
you got a free roam on the tablet, it's kind of like.
And I mean, they do have brushes that look like pencils. If you want that texture, you have brushes for it. But because I'm just such an ink guy, I just go straight to the inking and just start doing the inking. But sometimes that makes it harder. It just depends on what kind of artist you are. But
the next Jim Lee, you?
I wish. I'm trying. But the hardest thing for me, I would say, would be like backgrounds and buildings and shit like that. But I'm starting to get better at that too, man. Because I was studying how lighting works, and that's a whole nother thing.
I'm gonna be honest, bro. I think with the way that I want to take my drawings and my sketchings, like I feel like as I get better, I do want to sell them too. Like at those mini cons, or maybe like even at
that's the nerds hip hop.
What I'm saying, bro, and just kind of like show people like, hey, this is what I love, this is what I like to draw, and I think I want that to be my end game, like to kind of like show people like, hey, this is what I love. I'm gonna sell it for a reasonable price, and then obviously, kind of, have like a whole, maybe a little fan base or something with my drawings and stuff.
So that's what you love. You're obviously a fan of the geek shit. Get into it, man.
Hey, because I love to tell people, bro, like at the end of the day, like when it comes to like my coworkers or even like at the other jobs that I worked at, bro, like I like to tell people like, hey, you need to geek out, bro. You need to nerd out for the stuff that you love, bro. I think that's what everyone needs to do nowadays. Like do what they love, do what they talk about, like just nerdy stuff, and I feel like right now, it's starting to get more normalized because we're, coming out with some fire shows, fire movies.
Yeah, everybody's starting to get into
so I mean,
I've never seen anime this mainstream.
Anime's low-key probably as big as a comic book genre right now, bro.
I was at my job and these two girls, this one girl, she was kind of looked like she had a little chola type look.
Yeah.
She was talking to my trainer, which is also like this regular looking chick.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they started, and I didn't get into the conversation. I just went for
you were like,
playing it off. And I was just acting like I was just doing my work or whatever. But then I'm listening to them, and they're geeking out over anime.
Dude,
they're geeking out over, and then I was like, okay.
So well, that's why they call them shonen, because they're basically more towards like the older generation, young generation.
It's pretty interesting, man. Because I grew up in an era where anime, if you wanted to see an anime, you had to hunt down the VCR tapes. People, you had to order that shit from like international shit. Like it was not unless you lived in LA,
bro.
And you could go to the Japanese stores,
like Little Tokyo.
Yeah, my cousin used to do that. That's who I used to see do that shit because my older cousin that I used to do when I've done other episodes of my other
now since it's more mainstream, I can't even, bro.
Now you can just stream it. You know what I'm saying?
On Crunchyroll. When I was telling you guys, Crunchyroll. Download Crunchyroll.
Wasn't Netflix the one? Because they used to.
Well, right now, since it's so mainstream, Hulu's trying to get most of their shows, like the anime shows, onto their streaming platform. Netflix as well. I'm surprised even Disney Plus wants to have some of their anime shows. Like it's mainstream now, but it's like. I'm even gonna tell people that love anime. I think fans of anime, like, we've all watched, the audience, like we've all watched like, good shows. We've watched pretty terrible shows. They've had some good episodes, not really some
even good shows have bad episodes.
Exactly, right? So it's like it's the same thing as like, Invincible. Like even going to.
Speaking of which, I gotta watch that shit.
Oh my god, bro!
I'm lagging on that.
Hey, I watched the latest episode. You know about Conquest?
No, man. I'm telling you, I just know about some of the main characters, but I need to get into it.
But I did,
and I got Prime. That's the crazy.
Oh man, bro! Like even with Invincible, like you can understand why, like
But I understand it's a darker take on the hero and super.
You know, that's an indie comic. And
Right,
then,
right.
and it,
Is it from Image?
yes, and you know what? Robert
Image
Kirkman
Comics.
made the Walking Dead.
Yeah, that's what I'm
comic.
saying.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
why I was like,
that's what I'm
oh
saying.
shit, he came out with Invincible. I was like, what the?
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. I didn't know that, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy. But
And-
Image always is willing to take chances.
Oh well, they have Spawn in that one too,
Yeah.
and Spawn's in the
Todd
Invincible
McFarlane.
universe. So
What?
yeah.
What?
Okay,
I didn't know that.
For people that don't know, there's in the comics for Invincible, Spawn appears in one of his comics. It's
That-
called the Invincible War. And I don't want to like get into full detail, but the people who watch the show, you know what I'm talking.
Man, I'm telling you, I was a teenager when Spawn was like really.
I have some Spawn comics in my collection.
I had
It's
my
so.
action figures because they were. Todd McFarlane was actually probably some of the first action figures.
I need the Spider-Man 300 in my collection, bro, with the Tom McFarlane.
Oh yeah.
I need that one, bro, because oh my god, dude, that one's going for a lot, bro.
Spawn was that guy, man.
Him and Jim Lee, bro.
Jim Lee
Oh,
and Greg
man.
Capullo, who draws Batman, who drew Batman and Spawn.
I think there was a panel that I saw where Spawn, he was interrogating like I think a guy that he like had as a prisoner, and he had like chains all around him, and I was like, damn, that shit look badass, bro.
I
I
love.
love the way that they make him, bro.
It's hard to draw. I mean, it's not even hard to draw. It just gets a little repetitive once you.
I saw a little bit of the clips of the of his movie.
Oh, the movie.
Yeah, you know, it was.
Some parts are good. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Some
Yeah.
parts.
Yes.
Even the CG in some parts look bad. But it's just some of the other shit looks bad. Man.
Yeah, I was like,
Like
oh,
if you're
man.
gonna watch anything like that, watch the Spawn and the animated show. That the HBO.
The one on
Oh,
HBO,
God.
bro. Oh,
That was fucking.
That one
especially
was-
season one. Season one's a shit.
I feel like that one was just like straight out of the comics.
It was.
It was like so good, bro.
It was dope, man. It was ahead of its time, man, when it came out.
I be telling people, I was like, damn, I'm like, we really had a good childhood. I be telling people, I was like, damn, we really just like had a really good childhood, and
we didn't know how good we had it, man, to be honest.
until we got older, we're like, damn, all of our childhood's coming back again.
Yeah, for real.
You know what I'm saying?
But I think we covered a lot of what we're coming. We're already going on damn near 2 hours. Shit. So I'm about to cut it short, people. This has been a geek episode of the Grow Podcast, the geek edition, so to speak. I just wanted to bring on some new blood, young blood on here. You know what I'm saying? This is my little bro JoJo. You know what I'm saying?
My big bro.
I met this fool at a job, man. He's hella cool. He geeked out with me, and so you know what I'm saying? He wanted to do an episode with me, so I was like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying?
Just had to, bro. It was inevitable. It was fate, bro. It was fate.
Yeah.
Hey, hopefully more to come too.
More, yeah, definitely.
Hopefully more to come,
Definitely. Maybe I could, if we do the Nerds and Hip Hop again with Josh, maybe we can bring you on there too. Because I know you know your anime, and Josh is definitely an anime guy.
I could talk about Demon Slayer on that one too,
That's what
since
I'm
I talked about my hero on this one, bro.
There you go. All right.
So,
Hopefully,
pretty excited.
All right, people, we about to tune out, man. We'll be dropping these clips on TikTok and YouTube, so
Hope we go,
look out.
hope we go famous out there, bro.
Yeah, tune in, people.
Oh.
Play one beats.